Today I'm going to be doing a review of Ryan Tedder's songwriting and production class on Monthly. So if you're interested in taking the class, stay tuned. What's up, everybody? Stephen Michael Thornton here. I am a singer, songwriter, and producer based in Las Vegas, and I took Ryan Tedder's songwriting and production class on Monthly. I took it in January of 2021, and in this video, I'm going to give you my thoughts on the entire process. I'm going to do an overview of the entire program. I'm going to talk about some of the pros, some of the cons, the things I liked, the things I didn't like, things I wish could be improved upon, and there aren't that many. Who I think this class might be best suited for, and just some of my final overall thoughts on the program in general. Okay, so let's start with an overview of the class. The class is made up of pre-recorded videos that Ryan has made, and those videos are organized into various lessons. Those lessons are divided up into 3 modules. Each module is teaching you something different about songwriting and production. Module 1 is all about songwriting craft and creating a stripped-down pop song. Module 2 is all about production, and you actually go into a full production of the song. And Module 3 is about how to work with another artist and write a song around their style and their vibe. Throughout each module, you are creating your own song along with Ryan. He's creating a song on his end and giving you advice and showing you his process and whatnot. And then you are expected to create a song on your end. And at the end of that module, there's a due date and you're expected to turn in your song for that particular project. So overall, in the entire program, you create 3 songs over the course of a month. Another aspect of this class is the peer group. When you sign up for the program and the class starts, you get assigned to a small group of peers, and as you turn in assignments along the way, you are encouraged to comment and give positive feedback on your peers' work, and they're encouraged to give feedback on your work. And I will say that this group is actually quite constructive. At least my experience of it was quite constructive, and Monthly encourages people to be kind and be constructive, and there's people of all different levels in the class. So in general, it's nice to be able to hear other people's work and get feedback and improve on your project. Another part of the program is that from time to time, Ryan will pop in and comment on some of the students' work, and you can look at that feedback and listen to other people's songs and take that feedback into account and apply it to your own work. To finish up this section on the overview, I will say that the videos are very well shot. Everything is very high quality. You can see what Ryan is doing in his DAW. He works in Pro Tools, but he gives you instructions for working in your DAW of choice. And he's pretty good about telling you what he's doing along the way and explaining himself. But he is also in his own creative space, and you're getting to see how he works. And overall, it is it's nice. It's about as close as most of us will come to being in an actual songwriting session with Ryan Tedder. All right, let's talk about some of the pros of this program. The first thing I would say is that it is structured really, really well. There are deadlines for everything. Deadlines to watch the video, deadlines to have assignments turned in. Within each module, like I said, you have one song that is due at the end of each module, but along the way, there are assignments to post the first verse that you came up with, or post your initial ideas, and then let's build upon that. Let's post our lyrics that we came up with, and then you get some feedback, and how can I improve on it and whatnot. So it's not just one song that's due at the end, and then you have 3 songs. It's little assignments that are due all the way up to having the finished product. So I think that Monthly does a really good job of keeping things structured and keeping you on a schedule. Now, if you get a day or 2 behind or whatever, this isn't academic college or anything like that. Like, nobody's going to fail you and nobody's going to, kick you out of the class or anything like that. The deadlines and the schedule is there just to keep you on course so you can stay with the rest of the peer group and on time turning in assignments. That brings me to the second pro of this program or class is the peer group. I totally didn't expect the peer group to be as beneficial as I found it to be. I really, really enjoyed the process of turning in a partial idea and getting feedback from the people in the group, and just having some positive, constructive thoughts about I could do this better, I could do that better, and it was really, really good. I found everybody in the peer group to be positive and constructive. And Monthly does have that in their instructions, that they expect you to be that way. But like I said before, there are people of varying levels of ability and experience in the class, from absolute beginners all the way up to professionals. So overall, I found the feedback in the peer group to be really helpful and really encouraging. I found myself, when I turned in an assignment, looking forward to the feedback that I would get on it. And I enjoyed logging in and seeing what other people had uploaded and listening, going, okay, that's cool. Let me comment that. Or I think the lyrics could be a little bit different here. Hey, why don't you try shortening the verse so you can get to the chorus faster, or whatever it happens to be. So yeah, peer group, that's a really, really good perk, really great part of this program. And the third and final pro that I'll put out for this video is really working with Ryan. Like I said before, this is probably the closest that most of us will ever come to working with Ryan Tedder. It is interesting and nice to be able to see him in the room, in his creative element, working through the creation of a song completely from the ground up, something that he hasn't come up with. He just walked in the studio that day and said, okay, let's come up with some ideas and let's write a song. So it's really great to see his process. And, every songwriter is a little bit different, but even if you don't entirely write like him or completely resonate with the way in which he works, I think there's something to learn there. And for me, just being able to watch what he does and mimic what he does was really, really good. And I benefited a lot from what I learned in those videos. Okay, let's talk about some of the cons, some of the weaknesses that this program has. First is that, in my opinion, the program moves way, way too fast. There is so much work to be done in the span of a month. You are writing and recording and producing and mixing and finishing 3 songs in 4 weeks. Regardless of whether you are a total beginner or a seasoned professional, 3 fully produced, mixed, and mastered songs in 4 weeks is a really tall order, especially when you're creating everything from the ground up. Honestly, I think that this program would be a lot better if it was spanned out over 6 or 8 weeks. And I know that it's part of Monthly, and that's their brand, is to have a class that is done in 1 month. So I get that. That's part of the branding. But there is so much content, and there's so much to learn, and there's so much to do. It really would be a lot better if the class were spanned out over 6 to 8 weeks. That brings me to my second con, which is the time that has to be invested in such a short amount of time. Because the program is so condensed and so short, you have to invest a lot of time in order to meet all of the deadlines. Honestly, regardless of your level of experience, if you're going to take this class, you need to tell your friends, your family, and your spouse that for the next month, all you can do is go to work and work on music. You will not have time for anything else if you're going to meet the deadlines. So just be prepared for that if you're going to take this class. This next one could be a con or it could be a pro depending on how you look at it, but the class is challenging. I mean, it's not just willy-nilly you're going to walk in there and write a couple songs. I mean, maybe it will be for some people, but for me, I really wanted to dive into the work and really challenge myself to write in the way that Ryan writes. And he has a very specific way of writing, and not a way in which I was used to. So the program is challenging, and if you want to, really perform at your best, you're going to have to give it 100%. And that could be a pro, it could be a con, but just know if you're going to take this class, it will be a challenge for you. The final con, I would say, is the program is advertised that Ryan is going to pop in to the class from time to time and leave feedback on some of the students' songs. And unfortunately, we didn't really get to see much of that. There are 3 modules in the program. Each module teaches a specific skill set. Module 1 is all about songwriting craft and how to write a melody, how to structure a song, how to write something that is memorable and catchy. And at the end of it, you have a stripped down pop song. Module 2 is totally different. Module 2 is about creating a fully produced song with all of the instruments, the drums, the synthesizers, the guitars, everything from start to finish, and having a fully produced mixed song at the end of that module. And Module 3 is about working with another artist and finding their vibe and writing a song specifically for that artist. So based on the way the program was advertised, it was my hope and understanding that Ryan was going to be popping into the program from time to time throughout the program to give us some feedback. The problem that I had in this program was that Ryan only commented on the first module. And after the first module, which was like a week and a half into the program, we didn't hear from him for the rest of the month. And that was really disappointing. And it's made really clear that he can't comment on every student's song. There's just too many students. But seeing his feedback on some of the student songs was really, really helpful in my own process, because I can listen to their song and I can read Ryan's comments, his feedback, and incorporate that into my own work. My real issue with all of this is that there was the expectation that we were going to get feedback throughout the program, and we didn't get that. Module 1, Module 2, and Module 3 teach 3 completely different things. I really would have appreciated feedback, specific feedback, on each one of those modules. So, Ryan, if you're watching, I love you. I love your work. I love the class. The class was great. The videos were great. But come on, man, give us a little bit more feedback. That would really, really be great. And I think that the people taking the class would get a lot more value out of it. So if Ryan hears it or if Monthly hears it, I really hope that you incorporate that into some future classes. All right, now that that's out of the way, let's talk about who this program is the best fit for. As I said before, there are people in the class who are absolute beginners, and there are people in the class who are seasoned professionals, and everybody in between. So who do I think this class is the best fit for? I think the person who is going to get the most value out of this class is an intermediate songwriter or an intermediate producer. Now, what do I mean by that? I mean someone who knows their way around their DAW. They know how to produce, they know how to record audio, they know how to create MIDI tracks and drum tracks, and they're comfortable working in their DAW, but they're not advanced and they're not at a professional level yet. They're growing and they have a lot to learn. And on the songwriting end, someone who knows about song structure, they've written some songs before, maybe you've written songs for your band or you've written songs for YouTube, for your channel, or performing locally, but you want to get better at your craft. These are the types of artists who I think are going to benefit most from the program. If you are very advanced, if you're a professional, if you've had songs published before, if you have produced on a professional level, if you're very experienced in working with arranging and audio, I will say that there are going to be a lot of things in this program that you already know. Now, that being said, I think that someone who is very advanced in songwriting or production can still very much benefit from this class because, like I said, this is about as close as most of us are going to come to working one-on-one with Ryan Tedder. And, you know, I think that the best professionals and the best people in the industry are always trying to improve themselves. So there's always something to learn. And if you're at that top tier level, there's still something to learn from this class, and I would totally recommend it. But like I said, I think that the intermediate songwriter or producer is going to benefit tremendously from taking this class. And I wish that I had had a class like this when I was 19 years old or 20 years old or 25. And I'm grateful that I have it now, even though I have a lot of years of experience behind me. So what if you're an absolute beginner? Well, I would say that if you are an absolute beginner, you are going to struggle in this class. And the reason that I say that is because the class moves so fast. You need to be comfortable working in a DAW. You need to know how to record MIDI. You need to know how to record audio. You need to honestly have some basic understanding about mixing. Not crazy, but some basic understanding about mixing. And you can do that. I mean, you can get caught up in this program. The problem is being able to reach the deadlines. Now, if you don't have anything else to do, if you don't have a job, if you're living at home with your parents and you can just dedicate a whole month to this, you might be able to do it as an absolute beginner if you really, really dedicate yourself. But if you have a job and you have other responsibilities and you're only going to be able to dedicate maybe a few hours a day to this, I would say if you're a beginner, take a few months, focus on getting really familiar with your DAW, like I said, with MIDI, with recording, putting together some simple demo tracks and whatnot. If you can get comfortable with that, then you'll be ready to take this program and you will benefit so much more by having that foundation. Like I said, when you start this program, it is going to move fast. And if you want to be able to engage with the peer group and get projects in on time, you need to have at least a fundamental understanding of how to get audio in and out of your DAW and record things quickly. Okay, so what are my final thoughts on this class? My final thoughts are, it is an excellent course. Like I said, I really wish that I had a program like this around when I was coming up, 19, 20, 25 years old, but I am benefiting from it very much now. It definitely challenged me to be a better songwriter. The things that I learned, I am definitely incorporating into my songwriting and production. Would I take the class again? Absolutely, I would take the class again. I'm very glad that I took it, and I would recommend it to you. I think that Ryan and Monthly did an excellent job putting this program together. So if you have a chance to take it at some point, take it. I'm sure you'll benefit from it. And that's it. I'm going to put a link down in the description, which might give you a discount. They gave me a link to give a discount when I signed up for the program. I don't know if that link still works or not, but I'm going to put it in the description so you can click on it, and if it works, then maybe you can get a discount on the program. So try it. Try the link, see if it works. And if you want to listen to the songs that I created and actually listen to all of the assignments I turned in, like my whole journey of creating the songs along the way, I'm going to leave a link down in the description to my feed on Monthly that shows you my entire journey from the very beginning to the very end. So if you want to listen to what I created, click the link in the description and you can go check it out. And finally, if you like this video, give it a thumbs up, leave me a comment, let me know what you thought. My channel is a music variety channel. I'm a singer, songwriter, and producer. I do original songs, I do cover songs, I do music reviews, and I just talk about music and share what I think is fun and cool. So if you like this video or you like some of my other videos, hit that subscribe button, and hopefully I will see you in the next one. Bye. The final con I will say is...
The cat took a stinky...
Well, close the door then.